everybody, Jim Phillips here. Welcome to Java with Jim. I have a few things that I want to talk about this morning, and I've got some notes here, so I'm going to be looking down a couple of times. So it's not that I'm not paying attention to you, but I do want to make sure that I cover a couple of things that have been coming up for me, but also I always say this, questions from other people, conversations that I've had, and that's really where I get the ideas and the information for these Java with Jim. So having said that, I'm going to invite you that anytime you have a question, a topic that you would like me to cover in an episode of Java with Jim, all you have to do is put it in the remarks section of wherever you watch the video. But what I want to talk about is this whole sense of what people want most out of life. And now that we're in the first part of a new year, a lot of people have set resolutions, intentions, things of that nature. And yet here we are already 2 weeks into it, almost 3 weeks into it. And I'm having people talk about how they're just not really following through on it. So my question to them is, well, what is it you want most out of life? Forget the resolution that you're setting for yourself or have set for yourself for this year. What is it you want most out of life? And what I hear people say time and time and time again, and maybe you would answer the question the same way, is I just want to be happy. It's not about doing any one particular thing or accomplishing any one particular thing. It's about, I just want to be happy. Or I'll ask, what do you want for your children? Or they'll say, that is what makes them happy. I want my children to be happy. That is what would bring me the greatest happiness. Of course, some people will say that I want a new car, I want a new house, I want more money. But then when you dig a little bit deeper, and this is where the coaching comes into play, when you dig a little bit deeper with folks and you say, well, if you had more money, what would that mean to you, or what would that do for you? And they'll say, well, it would make me happy. Well, why would it make you happy? Well, because I could do certain things. So what you're saying when you answer the question that way is that I cannot be happy unless I have certain things in my life, certain experiences, certain people, certain amount of stuff. So I want to follow that up with another question. Have you ever been happy without those things? So if you don't have all the money you say you want right now that would make you happy, have you ever experienced happiness now? Whether in this moment or in a previous moment, have you ever had the experience of happiness? And of course, all of us will say yes. Well, I did. I did have happiness during other times. Well, then what you've proven by that is that you don't need these other things to experience happiness. Happiness is always available to us. It's a matter of allowing ourselves to get to that point where we allow ourselves to experience, regardless of what's happening. The experience of happiness is something within us. It is our innateness, quite frankly. It is who we are and what we're all about. It is that experience of love within us. It's the experience of being around other people. It's the experience of living in full expression of our truth. So the few things that I wrote down is, first question was, as I've already asked it, have you ever experienced happiness without having the things that you say you need to actually have the experience of happiness? And the answer, of course, is yes, you have had that experience. The question I would ask is, so why do you believe you need those things to experience happiness? You've already proven to yourself you don't need them, but yet you hold this belief that you need certain things to experience happiness. Well, now you might say, well, no, it's not that I can only experience happiness if I have those things, but I would experience more happiness if I had them. Well, why is that? Again, what would it be that those things that you believe you have to have that would allow you to experience more happiness, what is it that would mean? Why would you have to have that? And I think if we really dig deep into that again, you're going to find that it's not going to bring you more happiness. Happiness is just going to be that feeling that you have inside, that innate feeling about really who you are. It's about how you feel about yourself. It's about self-love, quite frankly. Do you trust yourself? Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe you're worthy of all the good things that life has to offer you? And if you don't, why is that? Why do you believe that others are more worthy than you are? Why do you believe that these examples that we see through other people and the way they're living their lives, and maybe the appearance to you, to us, is that they are happy, but yet, what do we really know about those people? What's happening behind the scenes? And are they really happy because they have these other things? There's some quotes that have come out of my book, and I say quotes only because people have asked me to, not to rephrase them, but to repeat them as they are. So when you keep repeating something, it is a quote. It comes from the book. And one of them is, why do we defend our misery at the expense of our happiness? Why do we defend our misery at the expense of our happiness? So what does that mean? Well, think about it. If you're saying something like, I will be happy when, well, that means you're going to stay in the situation you're in right now, that you cannot have that happiness until that certain experience takes place, or until you have whatever it is you're now saying that you need to have that experience of happiness. And your misery, I don't mean misery like you're in physical pain. I mean misery in that it's the status quo, that things will remain the same, and we defend that. We defend being in this place we're in right now. If you don't feel, or you're not expressing or experiencing happiness right now, you're defending the place you are right now without the experience of happiness by saying, I will only have happiness when such and such takes place. And again, we've already proven that that's not true, because you've said you've experienced happiness without these things being in place. So we defend our misery at the expense of our happiness. Another way that I have stated that, and again, this comes from my book, The Key to Life, Living in Full Expression, and that is, we have become too comfortable in our discomfort. Well, that's another way of saying that we're defending our misery at the expense of our happiness. We are too comfortable in the circumstances we're currently in. We allow that to perpetuate. We feel that, well, things aren't too bad. I'm still paying my bills. I'm still getting things done. I am doing some of the things that I really enjoy doing. And yes, that's giving me some of that experience of happiness that I really want. But yet, it's not enough to motivate or inspire me to do more, to open myself to receive more of the happiness that I say that I truly want. So we are becoming, or have become, too comfortable in our discomfort. And the unfortunate thing is, people don't move out of that becoming comfortable until their discomfort becomes such that they're almost forced to do something, forced to get out of that, forced to make something happen, because they have fallen so far down in their experience of life, in their relationships, in their work, in their sense of joy and satisfaction, sense of fulfillment. They allow it to get so far down that they feel like they have no other choice other than to move out of that. Well, the fact is, we don't have to get to that point in life. We don't have to sink so deep beneath the sea to find that pearl, so to speak, before we can really go after the things that we truly enjoy doing, the things that would bring us the greatest amount of joy and satisfaction, that would allow us to have that grander experience of happiness. We don't have to wait for something horrific to happen. We can tap into that anytime we want. Again, I mentioned earlier, that's part of our innateness. It's who we are. It's what we're all about. It is the love that we are, that we have come from, that we are created from and are. So where is this all leading to? It's just leading to the point that it begins with awareness. Be aware of the current circumstances you're in. Be aware of the fact that your current circumstances are a reflection of the thoughts and beliefs you hold, the experiences that you've had, and that it doesn't mean that's where you are or are intended to remain. It just means that's where you are as a result of thoughts, beliefs, and experiences leading to this point. And at any point in time, you can make a different choice. You can say enough is enough. You can get to that point, if you will, of being so uncomfortable or so comfortable in your discomfort that you're willing to take that leap of faith, essentially, that you're willing to step out and step into your magnificence and allow those things that life has waiting for you, that life is offering to you, that are truly available to you right now in this moment, every moment moving forward, that you're willing to open yourself to receive it. And then you will have that grander experience of happiness. Again, but keeping in mind that that happiness is always there. It's not that you have to do or be or acquire anything for that happiness to be experienced. It is already there. It's a matter of really opening yourself to it, allowing it, quite frankly, to happen. Not getting so comfortable in our discomfort, not defending our misery at the expense of our happiness, but truly giving ourselves permission to allow that happiness which is already available to us to be the experience of life that we have. I know I'm rambling a little bit on this, but I hope the point has been made. Again, if you have any other topics that you would like me to cover in Java with Jim, I'd be happy to do so. Just leave it in the comment section. If you have any comments on what I've just shared with you, if you have questions about it, feel free to, again, drop a comment in the comment box or connect with me directly, and I'd be happy to have a conversation with you. I appreciate you joining me for this few minutes of Java with Jim. I hope the message that I just shared with you is something that resonates. And I truly hope that you open yourself to the happiness that is already available to you, that you truly experience it, that you express it, that you experience it, that you express it, and that you become the expression of it. Because as you become the expression of happiness, you show other people what is possible for them. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm Jim Phillips. This has been Java with Jim. Bye now.